Welcome back into Rounding Third Baseball, episode 282. Hot stove is burning hot. I'm Nick, and we have Harrison tonight. How are we doing tonight, Harrison?
Fantastic. It's been a fun few days with some news breaking. So how are you?
Good. The news, the rumors have been fun to get into. I know I put out a Red Sox post that got everybody up in a tizzy because I had Bichette, Story, Marte, and Alonso around the infield, and everyone's like, yeah, in your dreams. And I'm like, well, you obviously didn't read the caption because that's what I said. But anyways, yeah, it's been a fun week. We'll dive into all of it. I'm sure we'll miss stuff because there was a ton of stuff just flying around, but we will get into it. But first, make sure you follow and like us on Facebook. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can also follow on Instagram, Rumble, and TikTok. You can also listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcast. We also have our affiliate sponsors, Logitech, MLB Shop, and Lids. You can find these links on the tops of all of our socials. So if you do any shopping for these products, please do it through our links as we get a nice little kickback with no additional cost to you. Just a great way to support the show. Speaking of supporting the show, check out our merch on Rounding Third Etsy. On Etsy? At Rounding Third Baseball. You would think I've done this before, but
you got it.
I'm stumbling. But anyways, we got sweatshirts, t-shirts, tumblers. We got a bunch of stuff on there. Check that out. Great way to support us and to get our name out there. And also on Patreon, we're building a small baseball community over there to share exclusive stuff, exclusive content, first peeks at some of our guests that possibly are coming up. So check us out over on Patreon. All right. We'll get to the Mets. Let's start with the Mets right off the top here. Edwin Diaz signs with the Dodgers. Not a shocker there. 3 years, $69 million for Edwin Diaz. The rich get richer. They add to their bullpen, and the Mets lose their closer. I mean, sure, they quote-unquote gained their closer with Devin Williams, but Edwin Diaz wants no part of that, and he is now the closer for the Los Angeles Dodgers. What are our initial thoughts?
Yeah, flat cheese. For a Mets fan, I think most people are with you saying, can we not talk about this?
Yeah.
Because the last couple of days have been not great for Mets fans. I mean, what do you make of this for the Mets? They were $3 million lower, and he didn't even go back to them. He just said, nope, welcome to LA. Here I come. I think what we're seeing is that there are much bigger issues in the Mets organization than I think the average fan knew. We knew they had some problems, but this offseason is proving that there is something much, much worse going on with the Mets. Diaz was very happy to take off. For the Dodgers, though, this is a team that won 93 games last year and blew 27 saves. If they convert all those, there's the 120 win season we were talking about. This is huge. This is huge for the Dodgers. That bullpen was a dumpster fire last year. The blow pen, as fans named it. This is big. The Dodgers finally have the back of the bullpen guy that has been killing them for the last season and a half.
Yeah. Flat cheese fire David Stearns. Now, I don't know if this is all on David Stearns. Is some of it? Yes. But reports are coming out that there's an issue with players in the clubhouse. Harrison and I just read it before we came on because now we're hearing rumors of Francisco Lindor possibly getting moved. And there's a beef in the clubhouse between Lindor and Soto, supposedly. So also could be the reason like Diaz and Alonso want no part of that either. And we'll get to Alonso in a minute, but they're just like, yeah, we're all set with that. And it would kind of explain the Pete Alonso comments after they lost that Marlins game 1-0, right? The game wasn't even, the dust hadn't even settled on the game. And he was like, yeah, I'm opting out. And for someone to do it that quick, something's got to be happening behind the scenes, right? If we're putting everything together.
Well, yeah. And for a team that kind of fell apart like they did, like usually those collapses are because you've got an issue inside. Can you hit a stretch of bad luck? Sure. But usually there's a problem from within. And I think what we're learning is that Edwin Diaz didn't even go back to them. Clearly didn't want to go back to the Mets. Happy to leave. Pete Alonso didn't even get an offer from the Mets. Didn't even get a phone call. Just took the offer, signed it, and moved on. These players are feeling zero loyalty or desire to go back to New York, which tells you they have some serious problems inside of that clubhouse, inside of that front office. David Stearns has definitely not done himself any favors, but it's not all his fault. I don't believe the Soto decision was him. I believe that was Steve Cohen that really wanted Soto. I think Soto's part of the problem. But also this Mets team had a good thing going. And then you drop Soto in the middle of it, and it was kind of like, well, what? So we're no longer good enough. We had a good clubhouse culture, and now this guy's in here changing things.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Ryan said clowns are more worried about losing spotlight instead of winning games. There's some truth to that. It's crazy. The Mets not even offering real contracts to Peter Diaz is crazy. And that could be from Diaz and Alonso's camp being like, don't even bother because we're not coming back. I mean, it could be something like that.
The Mets made no offer to Pete. They didn't even get an offer in front of him before he signed. Diaz, they offered him 3 years and 66, and they said, look, like, let's talk. There might be room to move here. The Dodgers offered 3 and 69, and Edwin Diaz just goes, nope, going to LA. Didn't even give the Mets the courtesy of a chance to match it, which tells me he did not want to go back.
No. Flat cheese, this one's a little lofty. I from the sounds of it, Tatis is off the trade block. They're not going to move him, but Lindor for Tatis and Mason Miller, that's pretty one-sided if you ask me there. But Curtis asked, could it be the manager? I think it's everything. The Mets are continuing to Met even in the offseason. I mean, it's just, Mets are melting early this year, and they are.
Mets are metting early this year.
Now, this might be crazy for me to say because he's got a indisposable income, but is Steve Cohen the issue? Does it start with him?
I mean, I think the Soto situation was brought on by Cohen. Cohen, the fan, wanted Soto there. I think what Cohen has done is he's given Stearns basically a budget. You got a whole bunch of money, go spend it, pal. Build me a winner. Stearns can't do it, and he's not doing it. And the fact that they didn't even get an offer to Pete here we are, December. He would agree to the terms yesterday, December 10th, and the Mets hadn't even made an offer to Pete Alonso yet, and they were very kind of coy with him and not really wanting to bring him back. And we talked about the fact it was kind of like a bad relationship where they didn't get along, but they kind of needed each other. And Pete finally just said, enough's enough. I'm out. And didn't even give the Mets a shot. What took the Mets so long? I don't know. Like, there is something wrong with the Mets to be at this point in the season and have major players happily leaving, not even coming back to give you a shot. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, and I do feel for Mets fans. I really do. And Flat Cheese, it's so hard to be a Mets fan. It is. Now, it has been in the past. It will be in the future. Like, it's just, I don't know how the Mets recover from this, to be honest. I mean, yes, they're still in on some of these top-of-the-line starting rotation guys, but
apparently not. Apparently, they're saying that they're not. They're looking to maybe make a trade for pitching. They're not necessarily going to be as active in the pitching free agent market as they said they would be. And then now they're also no longer in on Bellinger and Tucker. Like, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they view this as like a transition year, if they're starting to move towards like almost like a rebuild mode of like, let all these guys go and let's start over with Soto as the cornerstone. But you're going to have a really angry Juan Soto in spring training if you don't fill these holes with legitimate players. He did not come to New York to finish in third place.
I mean, that's hard for me to say. He signed $50 million a year. yes, you're not going to hamstring that, necessarily that team because of Cohen. However, you are not signing to win. You are signing to get paid. That's the difference with Soto, right? If you're signing to win, you're probably taking a little bit less, right? I mean, unless you're the LA Dodgers and they can forge what they're, an outlier in this situation. But if you're signing with the Blue Jays, if you're signing even with the Sox, if you're signing with another team that is towards the top and has a shot to win, and you have a feeling that other people are going to go there, you're going to take less for a better chance to win. Soto didn't care. I don't think he cares about winning. I really don't.
Well, and maybe he doesn't, but the draw to New York was the fact that you had the second highest payroll in baseball for several years. You had all these big name players. You had Alonso and Lindor and Diaz, and like you had this whole cast of stars that's all kind of getting torn down after 1 year. Now, if Soto doesn't care about winning, he just wants to get paid, then great. Like then he's going to be happy to have that team suck. But I can't imagine that Juan Soto chose to go to the New York Mets to be the only guy in that team that's like noteworthy and be irrelevant. But maybe, and maybe he opts out at the end of 5 years anyways, like we all thought he would probably do anyways, and go back and try again. But it's going to be, without Pete Alonso behind him, his numbers are going to take a dive, and I think ultimately he cares more about that than anything.
Yeah, he's going to.
Why would you pitch to him?
Right, he's going to go for Barry Bonds' single season walk record now. I mean, that's all you're going to have to do. Pitch around Juan Soto. He's the only one that's going to hurt you.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't care about winning, and maybe he doesn't, and it's all about show, then he'll be equally pissed because he's going to get no protection in that lineup. There'll be nobody on base ahead of him to knock in. There's going to be nobody behind him to protect him, and he's going to be a one-man wrecking crew out there that's able to do very little.
This is a fantastic point, Ryan, because I completely forgot about this. When a suite is the deciding factor, he didn't care about winning or losing. And I mean, hit the nail right on the head there. I mean, well,
and the fact that the average annual value was higher. I mean, the Mets deal was better on all fronts.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And no, Soto didn't want to be the star. He didn't want to play second fiddle to Judge, my gut reaction. Yeah. And I think that's part of it too. Like with Judge on the Yankees, Soto was never going to resign there because he was second fiddle there.
Yep.
He's never going to eclipse Judge as long as Judge is there, for sure.
No, not in the Yankees world. He's not. Soto was never going to be a Yankee. He was just he was a rented player. He was a hired gun. Judge is a Yankee.
Yeah,
there's definitely a difference. When you come up through, is a different feeling from the fans.
Yep. All right. Schwarber stays with the Phils. 5 years, $150 million. So he's the first guy to re-sign. How do we like this deal for the Phillies and Kyle Schwarber?
Given everything the Phillies have lost, cool. Like it kind of doesn't matter. Ranger Suarez is clearly moving on. JT Realmuto is clearly moving on. You've got Bryce Harper who's pissed off. You can't trade Castellanos. You've still got Bohm, who you can't figure out what to do with. Great. He's going to hit 40 plus bombs and walk a bunch, but I don't think that he is the answer to your problems. Like, I don't think that Kyle Schwarber changes. I don't think keeping Kyle Schwarber makes his team any better than they already were. This is still a team going backwards. This is still a team that doesn't have the pieces they need. It's still a team that can't win in October. So as much as we, kind of thought, geez, there's not a lot of places that make sense for him. Going back to Philly, I don't think solves their problems. I don't think they're a better team with him, but I think it's where he wanted to be.
Yeah, I think so too. He's had a lot of success there. And I don't know the other offers that were given by the teams off the top of my head. Maybe this was the best deal going, and this is a good figure to set the bar for a DH. I mean, it's still an insane amount of money, but you'll take that with the OBP, the power, But like you said, this signing doesn't do anything for the Phillies. I mean, yes, you have a Cy Young candidate at the top of your rotation in Christopher Sanchez, and he would have won every year, every other year, if Paul Skeens wasn't on this planet. But who else you got? You don't know what you got out of Nola. You don't know about Wheeler's problems with his arm. There's so many question marks on that roster. You have an unhappy superstar in Bryce Harper, like you said. I don't think this does anything for them overall, the overall picture.
Yeah, I agreed. I think he's a great piece for them, but I don't think this team is still not even as good as they were last year. And last year they couldn't get it done.
Yeah. Ryan says so disappointed he didn't land in Cincy. And I think we were all kind of pulling for that. I think that would have been awesome.
Would have been awesome. It would have been so awesome.
He would have lost some balls into the Ohio River. That is
holy
for
cow.
sure.
That's a launch pad.
Yeah. Yeah. The 5 years I'm kind of with you too, Curtis, is I think might have been a little too long for a lot of other teams. And we'll get to our Red Sox in a little bit. But yeah, 5 seemed to have been the number this offseason. And I think a lot of teams, like we had said, weren't willing to offer these quote unquote older guys a 5-year contract.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be 33 before the season starts next year.
Yeah.
And this is you're buying basically the tail off from his prime.
Yeah. Mike Reed says, I don't understand what the Phillies are doing. Are they going to trade Harper now, and then address the pitching? Your guess is as good as mine, bud. I really don't know. Really don't.
No, I'm not following their game plan. And maybe there isn't one right now. Maybe they're trying to figure it out, but this team is taking a big step back.
Yep. A keep Harper well, I can't even talk. A keep Harper happy signing.
Maybe
it helps, maybe a little bit. And to back that up, Vartino says, they had no choice but to sign him. And that might be part of it too. You got to keep some piece there.
Well, and I think that he's kind of one of those like cult icon fan favorites that, I think the fans would have a lot of heartburn seeing him go somewhere else. Keeping him keeps the fans happy and sells some tickets. But that team overall is very much in flux and very much looking like they don't have a plan.
Yeah. How much of this is like agents and the league not really wanting to deal with certain teams? I mean, it seems like the Red Sox, like they just feel so out of touch that it doesn't, it seems like the rest of the league doesn't even want to talk to them. Like that's how out of touch they seem. Are the Phillies kind of in that same boat?
I don't know. It's a good point though. I mean, we've heard, was it last year? We heard rumblings that the Red Sox were difficult to deal with and teams did not enjoy talking to that front office. I mean, I think that Phillies front office is pretty well respected with Dombrowski. Isn't Sam Fold in that front office? Like
I think so.
They've got some solid people in that front office. I don't know what the dynamic is. I don't know what the situation with ownership is. I'm not sure what the actual plan is, what they think they have. Like I know they're high on Painter, and that's why they're not worried about losing Ranger Suarez. Maybe that ends up working out. I think they've got a lot of moving parts. They've also got a lot of guys who are starting to get a little older. Schwarber will be 33 when the year starts. Real Muto was 35. Harper's starting to creep up. You've got some guy. You're beginning to see that team get a little older. But you've still got some commitments in place. Castellanos is not a young man anymore. You're continuing to see the age creep up. And I do think there's a point where they realize this window is beginning to close. And there's only so much they can do to prevent that from happening. And maybe they need it to close so they can start over. Maybe that's why it was a 5-year commitment to Schwarber, because it's going to take a couple years to fix it. I don't know, because they have not really come out and said, kind of, here's where we're at. Here's the state of our off season. I'll be curious to see what they do next, because Schwarber is an interesting choice, but without filling the other holes, all you've done is just spend a bunch of money on a DH.
Yeah. And we called it this postseason. If the Phillies do not win the World Series this year, the window is closed. I think it's currently closed. There's no way this team is winning. Zero chance.
Yeah, certainly not in their current status. No, this is a wild card team at best that's going to get bounced early.
Well, we'll talk about the Braves because I mean we'll get to that too. The NL East is going to look different. And Captain, this is a great point. Philadelphia will spend and overspend and hope it comes together at the end of the season and then get bounced in the playoffs like they always do. And Ryan says they'll be chucking batteries at him by mid-July. Yeah. I mean, it's third place team now. I mean, possibly. I mean, listen, the Marlins might be leapfrogging a couple teams in this division.
I was just going to say the Marlins might have just as good a chance to finish in second place as anybody else.
Yeah,
the Mets are imploding. The Phillies are kind of directionless. The Braves are reloading. The Marlins might be the second best team in that division. Who the hell knows?
It's just it's crazy to me. This was a lot to, like you said, a lot to spend on a DH for a team with no direction. Yeah. If you are this piece away, hell yeah, give him $200 million, right? Yeah. I mean, if this is the guy that puts you over the top, overpay him 1,000%. But this literally does nothing for you. This is just treading water.
Yeah, you're just keeping a piece you already had. This is not an upgrade.
And Curtis, you're right. It's baseball, right? Anything can happen. Philly's not dead. They still have some players that can play. I get it.
They do,
right? And they still have
a good team.
Yeah, they still have a rotation that can prevent runs, right? And that's the biggest thing in baseball. They still do. What you get out of that rotation, I don't know. Do you get the same season out of Christopher Sanchez? Is Zach Wheeler healthy? Does Nola bounce back? I mean, do they find a way to plug that Ranger Suarez hole? I don't know.
But is Andrew Painter really that good?
Right.
Do you know?
Yeah. Mike's calling it right now. Braves, Marlins, Phillies, Mets, Nationals. That's how he's predicting his NL East. And I don't hate that prediction, except for I'm going to take Nationals first. Kidding. That's a joke. But yeah, I don't know. It's Curtis has still got Philly taking the division. Oh no, still got Philly and Atlanta taking this division. Yeah, I think they're still going to be near the top. Like the Phillies aren't going to fall to sixth place out of 5. Like we're not saying that. It's just this doesn't make them better.
I go back to exactly what I said. This is now a wild card team that probably gets bounced early. Like this is no longer a World Series contender. This is a team that's going to skate into the playoffs and get bumped.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the juice. And honestly, like as loaded as that roster was last year, they still didn't have the juice in October.
Right.
This team, for whatever reason, just can't get it done in October.
Yep. Flat Cheese, this is a great point. And I think we're going to see the influx of these guys signing after kind of winter meetings is over. They're going to try to get all these current MLB guys onto rosters, and then teams are going to go hard after these guys, right? Because they know what they're getting with MLB free agents. They've seen them. They've got the tape on them. I mean, yes, they probably have tape on the Japanese guys too, but not as much as they do in the MLB. These guys are proven talent in the MLB. These guys are coming off the board first, I think, in my eyes. And the Japanese guys are going to be plan B for a lot of these organizations. And I see them kind of getting sprinkled throughout teams that can't land one of these key free agents.
Yeah, keep in mind the posting window for most of these Japanese guys closes in early to mid-January. So like those guys are going to have to sign here soon.
Yeah.
It's been quiet on that front as we've sorted through all these other players, but those windows are are going to be closing here soon. They're going to make decisions here quick.
Yeah. Curtis thinks Philly, Braves, Mets, Miami, Washington. Okay.
Yeah. Curtis, you might be the only guy thinking that Phillies team has got a shot to win that division.
Yeah.
I like the pick. I just, unless Philly does something else that I'm, to surprise us, that is not it's not an NL East winning team right now.
No, for sure. All right, let's get over to Big Pete here. Pete Alonso to the Orioles. The Orioles. Let me say it again. The Baltimore Orioles signed Pete Alonso, 5 years, $155 million. Does this help the Orioles if they don't get any starting pitching?
I mean, yes, because now they might be able to win some of those like 7-6 games. They become like 8-7 wins, but they still need pitching. I mean, that lineup with Pete in is so much better because now a guy like Gunnar Henderson's got protection. You can actually stack that lineup differently. So I think you actually see a much better offense with Pete helping to anchor the middle of that order. However, it won't matter if you've got a team ERA of 5.
Yeah.
It just won't. So, and apparently the Orioles are still in on some of the big name pitchers. They still believe they're gonna make some more moves here. So Rubenstein said it when he got more involved with the team. They've got money. They are willing to spend. It just has to be done smart. And this, I think, was I think Pete to the Orioles was something that nobody had on their radar.
No.
And honestly, the Orioles made an offer of 5 years, 150 to Schwarber. When he said no, they immediately pivoted to Pete and said, "Hey, how about you?" And had a deal with Pete like 24 hours later. So the Orioles were definitely down at the winter meetings, aggressive, trying to get something done, and they got a guy.
Yeah. Ryan says Orioles have the chance to be the comeback franchise of the year. If they figure it out, and yeah, I'm with you. Captain says the O's out of left field. Yeah, I mean, Baltimore being the dark horse for next year, and I think this year, looking back now, this could have been the outlier year for them, right? I mean, they've been consistently a playoff team 2 years before. Last year, they took a massive step back because they had no starting pitching. For me, absolutely a great move, right, Martino? Great move.
Yep.
But for me, if they don't shore up this rotation, are they going to win a few more games? Yes. But like you said, it doesn't matter. If you have a team ERA of 5, Pete Alonso doesn't do enough to get your team back into playoff contention. Love Pete. Love Pete. I love his game. But it doesn't completely get them into the postseason if they don't fix that rotation somehow, some way.
Yeah. Yeah. They're a better team, but so is the whole division around them. They have to take this signing and match it with at least an arm or two to give that team a real shot.
And I'm now confident they will. This is the first shoe to drop. Like it's also a magnet for other free agents. Be like, okay, look at that team. Look who's in the middle of that lineup. Like, yeah, I'll go pitch for those guys because they're going to put up 6 runs a game.
Right.
So, yeah, I just
you could have Basayo DHing, Rushman behind the plate. You could have Jackson Holiday in there, Westberg in there. Gunnar Henderson's now got a big bopper to protect him. Like that lineup could be nasty.
Yeah. Yeah. Veteran leadership for kids. Yeah, absolutely. And Curtis says 2025 was a mulligan for the Orioles and Braves. And yeah, both organizations, I think, could have bounce back years. Braves is just health. That's really all it is with the Braves. They got the talent on the team to win.
Yep.
They just can't stay healthy. Mike said, and I agree with you, without pitching, they'll probably still 4th or 5th in the East. Yeah. Yankees, Red Sox, Blue Jays. I mean, the AL East is turning into that gauntlet again. So, I don't know. Ranger Suarez, the next move for the Orioles. It's going to be Suarez or Valdez. It's one of those two guys is going to land there. And for the Orioles' sake, I hope it's Suarez.
Yeah, I think that's the guy you'd prefer to have out of the two. I mean, the ability of Valdez is undeniable, but you have to question what he's like in a clubhouse, especially with young guys. Like what kind of effect would he have on that building?
Yeah. So were you surprised at 5 and 155?
No, actually, the contract amount I thought was, I think we had said early on, he's probably hoping for like 6 and 180. $30 million a year for a first baseman. That makes sense. I think the contract wise, that's about where I think it was going to come out.
Okay. So the other team
I guess the only part of that was we were questioning would he be able to get a 5th year out of somebody, or are they going to stop at 3 or 4?
Yeah.
Because I think we laid it out a scenario. It would make sense to sign like a 3 or 4 year deal with like a couple of option years, so you can kind of extend as you go. Orioles just flat out made the commitment.
Yep. So reports are coming out that the Red Sox met with him the same night that the Orioles did, and they offered him 4 for 130. So more annuals, but just didn't get the year. Again, is this the Red Sox out of touch with what these guys are wanting? Now, if we look at the last few off seasons, these free agents have been asking for more years. They've been asking for job security versus the average annual value, because they're not blind. They're not dumb. They see the influx of these young kids coming up and making huge immediate impacts on the game straight away. So these older guys are sitting there looking, being like, listen, this kid's going to push me out in 2 to 3 years. I want to be here for 5 or 6 to make sure I still have a job to get paid. So for me, it's the Red Sox being completely out of touch, that if you want a big key free agent, you have to pay him the years. I don't understand it. Like, I'm on the outside looking in and I can see that. Right? How are you guys in the middle of this not understanding that? I don't get it.
Yeah, and for Pete, I mean, Pete's 31. You've got a couple more years of his kind of prime years, and then you begin to see the tail off. But at 31, this is going to take him to his age 36 season. This may be the last contract he gets. There may not be a next contract. So you've got to get whatever you can now. And by tacking on years and bringing up the total value of that contract, you're able to secure your future, but also know that you've got a spot and you'll be taken care of. And I think that the job security, to your point, is very valuable in a world where young players come up for crazy cheap and make impacts a year after they're drafted, which we don't typically see very often. And these guys want to know that I'm not just going to get pushed out.
Yeah.
Pete will be able to live the rest of his life very comfortably on $155 million. That'll work.
Yeah. And this could be it too, Captain. Like, it's surprisingly easier to overbroker a deal, and it sounds like that's what the Red Sox are doing. Their counteroffer is just not realistic. I mean, that could be it too. I don't know.
I think 2 things. One, there was a day where the Red Sox had that appeal, where players would be like, I want to go there. Like, get me there. That's not the case anymore.
No.
And 2, when you start off with an offer that's lower than everybody else in the market's at, there's no counter offer. There's no continuing discussion. It's just Pete probably looked at him and said, great, thanks, and walked out of the room because he already had better offers in hand. It's like, it's almost insulting to waste his time to present a lesser offer than he already had in hand.
Yeah.
Like, why would you counter offer in that case with a team that out of the gate wasn't even giving you what other teams were starting off at? You can't start below the market and expect these guys to negotiate against themselves.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, Mike, I get this point too. Yep. Like, I understand Pete taking the Orioles deal, but also understand the Sox only wanting to go 4 years because he could easily fall off a cliff. And I get that, right? We've talked about it before with the trouble getting to the high velocity stuff at times. This past year was a lot better for Pete. However, I think Fenway is a spot where you can kind of hide, if you will, an aging superstar, because you can still put up offensive numbers at Fenway Park, right? And that's what you're paying Pete Alonso to do if you're bringing him to Boston. Listen, bud, I know maybe years 4 and 5, you're not going to be that great. You're getting older. They're still elite athletes. He's still going to put up ridiculous numbers. Like, so his fall off, I don't think we're not going to be looking at like 5 and 25 as a fall off. You know what I mean? He's still going to get you 25, 30 homers at his epic fall off, especially at Fenway Park. Right? So I mean, for me, this is a no-brainer. We have said it the last few weeks. Red Sox are struggling to find a consistent first baseman. This was the fix, and this was an easy pay for me.
Yeah, I mean, literally, you all you had to do is give him another year, and he would have been a Red Sox, and he would have destroyed Fenway Park. You would have made the fans happy, and yeah, maybe the last year this deal sucks, but the first 3 are probably going to be elite at a minimum.
Yeah.
Guy just played 162 games.
Yeah, and that's the other part. Like, fifth year's a no-brainer to me. No-brainer. Crazy.
The Red Sox just aren't aggressive. Like, I think what we've learned is that Red Sox front office, they're just not aggressive. They're not risk takers anymore. You know, back in the days of Theo Epstein and that whole crew, like they would take a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And did it always work out? No. But when it didn't work out, you figured a way out of it. But when it did work out, you built a juggernaut.
Yeah. Yeah, and both of these points by Ryan and Curtis are spot on. You know, I'm betting playing in a smaller media market. Pete's going to eat with that change of scenery. I agree. And then Curtis, to kind of back that up, says less pressure to play at Camden Yards and Fenway. You know, the same exact thoughts came in right about the same time. Like, you guys aren't wrong. I think that's also an appeal. Boston can be a tough place to play, just like New York. Like, you know, media is tough. If you start to slide a little bit, it doesn't take long for the media to get on you. So maybe that is part of it, you know? I don't know. For me, it's great for the Orioles. This is great for the Orioles. We have always said it. We love seeing these lesser teams, if you will, these bottom dwellers for so long, actually coming back and competing. And I hope the Orioles can get the pieces that they need to get them back to the playoffs, because it was fun seeing them there before last season.
Yeah. I think that he changed that Orioles team a lot.
Yep.
Now go get some pitching, and that team, I think, is back in business.
Yep. 1,000%. All right. Let's get over to the Braves a little. The Bravos make a couple moves. Mike Yastrzemski, 2 years, $23 million. So had a little pit stop there in KC. He is now an Atlanta Brave. How do we like that?
I kind of hoped the Royals were going to keep him. I don't know why they didn't. Yastrzemski is a professional, you know, a guy who's older, but a professional. You know, he plays a good outfield. He has a good bat, makes good contact. You know, not an exciting move. He's a solid major leaguer.
Fair.
But a generally consistent one that a team like the Royals could have benefited from having. I think the Braves will like him because he's going to go out there and play hard every day. Give it what he's got. He's not going to do anything stupid. He's not going to cause any problems for you. He's just going to go play good baseball.
Yep. And then to piggyback that, Robert Suarez joins the Braves, 3 years, $45 million. And he solidifies the back end of that bullpen with Raisel Iglesias. Do we believe in the Braves bouncing back?
Yes. I mean, I think that we said it last year with the injuries. You know, if they just get these guys healthy, this is a different team. This is a team that's going to come into spring training and should have just about everybody healthy, which might be the first time in 2 seasons they've had that whole lineup healthy. Yeah. And now you've added a guy like Suarez at the back of the bullpen to go with Iglesias, who's been crazy consistent for you. That this is now a 7-inning game against the Braves. You know, you got Drake Baldwin's encore. I think that this team could be really, really good next year.
Yeah. If I could tune into Braves games, I would next year. But that's another story for another night. Yeah. But yeah, I believe in it too. Like, listen, injuries suck. You can ask the Texas Rangers. You can ask the Braves. The last couple of years, the Braves have had injury issues. You know, they stumbled into the playoffs in 2024. I mean, they were detrimented by injuries last year. Decimated. That's the word I was looking for. Decimated by injuries. Either way. They were hurt a lot. And I don't think you can knock on wood, be as hurt as you were last year. So yeah, they bounce back, right? New manager as well with Walt Weiss in there. I think this team has going to definitely have some spring in their step again. Like they're going to be like, all right, fellas, we're all back. Let's put our nose to the grindstone and get this done. And Walt Weiss is going to be that type of guy for them as well.
Yeah, and you're looking at having Spencer Strider back after doing some work on himself this offseason to try to get some things. You should have a healthy Chris Sale all year. You're going to have all of your lineup back. Acuna fully healthy, Riley fully healthy. I think this could be a really fun team to watch.
Yeah,
because they're going to be loaded top to bottom.
If I'm Ronald Acuna, my last ACL surgery, I would have just been like, "Hey, could you just put like titanium ligaments in there so I don't tear them anymore? Like,
yeah,
please." Like, just crazy.
Yeah, is Teflon an option? Because I'd like that.
Yeah. Weiss could probably still turn a 4.63, 1,000%.
For sure. He turns him in his sleep still.
Yeah, they're gonna be solid, and we say that every year about the Braves, right? Their core is one of the best cores in the MLB if they're on the field, right? Riley and Olson and Albies and Acuna. If Murphy is any shell of what he was before, yes, but their core is solid, and they just got to stay on the field. And Bartino, I'm with you. Acuna is the key. If he's any form of what he has been in the past, the Braves are going to be a tough out at any point in the season.
They will, and I think that depending on what they do with Ozuna, which I'm assuming he's probably not coming back, you could DH Acuna some and put Yastrzemski out in the outfield and move guys around to try to help keep Acuna's legs fresh. Because I don't think you can count on Acuna after 2 knee surgeries in 3 years, being able to handle it like he has.
Yeah, watch out for Michael Harris having a bounce back. He looked like towards the end of the season he had finally figured it out because he was struggling.
It was bad
the first half. So
he had a good end of the year.
Yeah. So hopefully, he's turned it around and flipped it.
Yeah, you'll have Profile for the whole season, assuming he doesn't do anything stupid. That's always a positive.
Over under 120 games for Acuna, though.
I'll take the over because when he comes back from surgery, he seems to have like a really banger year, and then he gets hurt again. So this should be the banger year. So I'll say this year is probably an over, but I don't think you'll get an over the following season.
I'm going to take a push. He plays exactly 120.
Nice.
Yep. This is where I think Acuna's game we're going to start to see slow down a little bit, right? I think the Braves are going to be smart about the mileage on his legs and be like, hey, 40 and 70 was absolutely insane, and that was a ton of fun to watch, but we don't need you to steal 70 bases this year. In fact, we don't want you to. Like, station to station with you, please. Like, we don't need you tearing out another ACL. So I'm with you there, Curtis.
Yeah, I mean, I do think they're going to let him play his game, but maybe with some guardrails, just so he doesn't go crazy.
I'd put arm floaties on him, actually. But yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I love the dude. The kid is electric to watch. He is one of the funnest, more fun players to watch in the league when he is right. I mean, every time he steps in the batter's box, you're like, something special is going to happen. He either hits a rocket to the moon or bangs one off the wall and stretches it. Like, he just makes a crazy catch in the outfield. He's electric. But he has to kind of, he's one of those guys that has to stay within himself because as soon as he pushes a little bit too much, he gets hurt. So I think you're right. The guardrails is a great metaphor because you have to protect the stars. It's almost like the Mike Trout thing. You have to protect him from hurting himself because he goes out all the time.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be able to throttle these guys a little bit so that they don't do too much. But yeah, Michael's point, he could blow it going first to third. Like you never know when it could go. But You got to let him play his game, but you've got to let him not go too far.
Well, I mean, especially the second ACL tear, he was just what, like going back to the bag at second, right? It wasn't even
it
like
was weird.
Yeah, it was a weird one. Floaties and oven mitts, yeah, absolutely. The floaties with the oven mitts on the end, absolutely, all for it.
Jesus.
Put the Forrest Gump leg braces on him.
You line the base pass and mattresses and tires. I mean, what are we trying to do here?
Yeah, yeah, dude's electric till something pops. Yeah, and exactly.
And it's not, he doesn't have like little injuries. He has, season ending injuries.
Yeah. I mean, Michael, that throw that you're talking about last year, that one he made from almost in front of the warning track in right field to hose that guy out at third was one of the craziest throws. I mean, there's some great throws in MLB history, and that one ranks right up there. Flat footed, I just absolute cannon.
Crazy.
So yeah, I think the Braves bounce back. I can't wait to not watch them and see what they do. And what we just talked about earlier in the show, and an NL East that is wide open. So
yeah, and it's the NL East where they're the only team getting better. Everybody else around them is on the decline.
Yeah. Well, I'd say the Marlins are getting better, but not at the same rate as
the big three, where the other behemoths are not getting better.
Right. Agree. All right. Gregory Soto to the Pirates, 1 year, $7.75 million. A 1 year deal. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
So the reports are the Pirates are spending. They are trying to spend. Are players going to bite, though? I mean, yes, Gregory Soto is a great bullpen arm, but do we believe in the Pirates buying? Mike Reed got him. Yes, Moyer is in the Pirates logo. Yes, good. Nice. But anyways, do we believe in the Pirates spending?
I mean, they offered Schwarber 4 years and 120. They were not that far off. They offered Alonso, or I guess they were talking to Alonso. I haven't seen a number yet, but they've been in on players. They are making offers. They're trying to do things. I just don't think people are ready to believe in the Pirates and sign there. So Soto's a nice piece. That's a loss for the Mets. Good bullpen arm, a guy who can pitch late in games, can handle high leverage situations. Good move, but obviously they need a whole lot more than just Gregory Soto, and it's going to be hard to get players to be like, "Yep, I'm buying on what the Pirates are selling. I'm going to go be a Pirate." That's. I don't think any player has said that phrase in a long, long time.
No, and you've nailed it the last few weeks. They just need that one guy. They kind of just need to overpay one guy that is a magnet for other players to be like, okay, now we got, example, Schwarber and Skeens. Okay, we're starting to cook a little bit, and then you get like maybe a Gino Suarez to just pop over there, right? They're not necessarily the top tier free agents, but they're just like pieces where it's like, okay, Pirates could be a little bit relevant here. Let's go make some noise, because you're gonna win every fifth day with Paul Skeens. I mean, at least have a 98.6% chance that you're going to.
Yep. Yeah.
So they just need that one piece to fall.
You need the first guy to make the move. You need somebody to be like, okay, I'm in. And then everybody's going to go, really? Why is he going? What's going on there? What am I missing?
Right.
And then all of a sudden they become relevant again.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to really overpay somebody to be the first person to make that leap.
Mm-hmm. And Curtis, yeah, the Pirates do sign free agents. They do, just not for multi-years, right? 1 year deals all over the place since 2016 still. So that streak is still intact, which is nuts. We're talking about it 11 years later, and they still haven't signed a multi-year free agent. That to me still, it might be my favorite stat to rattle off at this time of year, because it's mind-blowing to me.
Well, and
you haven't even offered a guy 2 year deal, for crying out loud.
Well, and it's because of that free agents aren't biting. They're looking at it going, come on, like we know the track record. You guys have earned this track record.
Right.
Like this isn't serious. And until somebody actually makes the leap and proves that they are, nobody's going to take them seriously.
No.
Because that's the trend. That is the track record they're working from, is that, which is downright sad.
Yep. And Jeff's the Tigers fan. So just like when Pudge came to the Tigers in 2004, nobody wanted to come here until then. And the Pirates are in the same boat. However, I think the Pirates are in deeper waters, if you will, because they haven't done it for so long. So I don't know. It's nice that Sherrington is trying to reverse this franchise a little bit. And maybe he is getting a little bit of pressure because Skeens is gone in 2 years. He is, especially if you don't get a contender there. Skeens is gone.
That's the other hard part. Is it's going to be hard to get somebody like Kyle Schwarber to commit to 4 or 5 years when Paul Skeens is walking out that door in a year or two.
Right.
Like when he goes, what am I left with? Like what does the future hold?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to. I'm not coming here for a 1 year shot at something. Like I want there to be something.
And the track record for the Pirates, Paul Skeens is just another pitcher in a long line of Pirate pitching studs that have come up to the league and just got dealt away. I mean, the list is incredible. You get Garrett Cole, Tyler Glasnow. I'm blanking on the others, but it's a long line of Pirates pitchers that are studs that end up somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, and those guys are the ones everybody immediately goes to. Just the guys that are, massive studs that just, 3 years and gone. As soon as they can get out of town, they were traded.
Yeah, I just
Skeens will just be the next guy in that long list.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see which direction they go. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's one thing to have the money and want to compete. It's another thing to actually be able to do that, and that's where they're going to struggle, getting guys to actually take their money. And on top of the trend of not signing anybody, you've also got the incentive-laden deals where you've cut guys. I don't think a lot of players have a lot of faith that, Bob Nutting's even going to deal fairly with them, given what they've done in the past.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh yeah, Garrett Cole, Joe Musgrove, Jamison Taillon, Charlie Morton, Tyler Glasnow, J.A. Happ, Ivan Nova. I mean, that's just some of them. And Paul Skeens is going to be added to that list.
Yep.
But Musgrove, AJ Burnett, that's right.
Oh, yeah, going back to Burnett.
I mean, it's just wild. But all right. The White Sox will get the number 1 pick. They win the lottery. My question to you, Harrison, when will the Sox be relevant again?
I mean, as we said, a rebuild takes some time. They've got they've got 8 top 100 prospects. 2 of them already in the major league, 6 more coming. I mean, this team's probably, 3 or 4 years away. And they're going to need all those guys to pan out. Like you can't miss on any of them. Another team that won't have much luck signing free agents because they're not going to want to go there. A team that's still trying to get rid of Luis Robert to try to free up a spot. I mean, Shane Smith was their best starting pitcher, and he was a Rule 5 pick last year. That's where we're at. I mean, this is another few years. I mean, Mike Reed says 2030 in the chat. Yeah, probably. You're probably 29 or 30 before this team is like actually worth watching. But you need all these young guys to come up, develop, perform, and then you're in good shape. And Ryan took the words out of my mouth, they're in a division that nobody's running away.
Right.
The Royals are continuing to maintain just something above relevancy. The Guardians do what the Guardians do. The Tigers could be on taking a big step backward depending on what happens with Skubal. It's kind of a division in flux that's not a super tough division.
The Twins are a AAA team.
Yeah, I didn't bring them up because I don't want to rub salt in a wound to any fans, but
Yeah.
the Twins are not relevant. So I think that they're, they've got a lot of talent coming, but it's going to take a few years. So you're probably, 2029, 2030.
Yeah. John Temple, yeah, they definitely had some
Yeah,
good starters in
they
there.
did. The bullpen was terrible.
Yeah. So I mean, 2032 ALCS Las Vegas A's versus Chicago
Oh,
White Sox.
that'd be
Love it.
amazing.
Love it.
I hope the A's can get there sooner than that, but let's not rush anything.
Yeah, same. And then Curtis says when Reinsdorf passes. I mean,
you're not wrong.
yeah, crazy. Yeah, I mean, I've always liked the White Sox. I've had a soft spot for them. Friday night baseball on WGN growing up was my only time to watch the White Sox. I love that team. Friday nights coming home from school, it was Cubs in the afternoon, White Sox at night, and then flip it over to TGIF. I mean, great childhood. I mean, it was the best. So I've always had a soft spot for them, and it sucks when they are irrelevant. I mean, we forget they're even in the league sometimes.
Yeah,
because they're that bad.
Big market, a lot of history. It is sad to see this team, fall to where it's fallen to, but they do have help coming. They just need it all to work out.
Yep, they'll get there. I have faith. All right, the quiet teams so far, Harrison, and which team surprises you being, I quote unquote, quiet? And quiet's in quotes because they just haven't really signed anybody. Yes, the Mets signed Devin Williams, snooze fest. But we got Mets, Yankees, Cubs, Red Sox, Giants, and Mariners. Which teams surprises you that they have been quiet?
I think the biggest surprise for me are the Red Sox and the Yankees. I think given what the Blue Jays did last year, when the Blue Jays have already started to do this offseason, the Red Sox and Yankees are watching the AL East get pulled away from them, and have Toronto be the one in control of it. I thought for sure they would both be more aggressive early on to try to improve and give Toronto a run. But the Yankees can't seem to figure out what they're doing. Now apparently they're holding steady. They won't give Bellinger more than 5 years. His camp wants 7 years. They're in a staring contest with him. In the meantime, Jazz Chisholm could be available now. They don't have a payroll freeze, but they want to be smart with their money. I don't know what they're doing. And the Red Sox just continue to, I think, pretend to operate a front office, but not actually do anything. And I think in the end, I think both teams are going to end up having disappointing off seasons, and the Blue Jays are just going to run the AL East for a little while.
Yeah. I'm not putting in the Red Sox as this surprises me. This happens every single year. I don't know why this one I felt like it was going to be different. They are proving me.
I think the difference, though, Nick, is that they actually came out and said they were going to be aggressive. Like, they haven't done that before.
Right.
Like, they said they were going to go all in. They said they're going to go get 2 big bats. They said they're going to do all these things, which in the past they haven't done. And now they've done nothing as usual. I would have rather just had them say nothing, and I would have been not disappointed.
Yeah, right. And maybe that's where I am a little disappointed, but it doesn't surprise me. This happens year after year after year.
Yep.
That the Red Sox are in on everybody and get no one. I put out, like, it was a half joking post and a half dreaming post when I put Bichette at third, Story at short, Marte at second, Alonso at first. And then I'm keeping it updated. I crossed out Alonso. People were just, as they do on social media, blowing me up. Oh, you're dreaming. I'm like, yeah, that's literally what I said in the caption. Like, it was a joke. Like, I know this would never happen. But that's where all the rumors were pointed to at the beginning of the week. But it's not going to come to fruition. It never does with the Red Sox. It never does. So that part doesn't surprise me. The one team that does, though, on here, the Mariners, to me. They were so painfully close to the World Series.
Yep.
And you haven't done anything. You haven't even brought back a third baseman. Yes, you signed Naylor. That helps tremendously. You gotta a hole at third base. Do you bring back Suarez? Are you going after Bregman? And maybe they're a sleeper for Bregman. Isak Paredes is somehow on the trade block now with Houston. There's been talks of his name thrown around. Do the Mariners check in on that? I know the Red Sox are checking in on that. So they got some holes, and but offensively, other than Cal Raleigh and J Rod, who's coming through for that Mariners team?
It's Cal Raleigh, J Rod, and Naylor. That's you're hoping the Three Musketeers can carry that team.
And maybe with that pitching staff, that's all that needs to. But for me, like if you're that close, you need a couple more pieces to put you over the top.
Yeah, and I think they got Naylor quick. It was like boom, here's a big move, and then it was then it was some bullpen moves.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yep.
Yeah, where they traded Harry Ford for Ferrer, but I mean, the Mariners have pitching. That's one area they don't have an issue with. They do have a bullpen that is very strong. They do have a starting staff that's very strong. But that lineup, man, they need another bat. You need somebody, because Suarez was not great in Seattle once he got there. He was okay. But you need another bat in that lineup, and not Suarez, like a more consistent bat. And that's a totally different team.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe they are waiting for Polanco. Maybe Polanco is, I think John Temple said that he's our token Mariners fans in here. Maybe they are waiting to see if Polanco comes back, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they said dude's asking for 16 to 20 mil a year, 5+ years, when he's a 3 to 4 year, $12 million a year player. Yeah.
I mean, you can ask whatever you want, and then eventually you'll have to kind of take what the market's going to give you. But
yeah.
And I think Polanco wants to be there. I think the Mariners want him there. I think the fans love him. I think it's the perfect fit. But
yeah,
you just have to get to where you can all agree on something.
Curtis, I can only imagine what this page is doing right now. So Curtis says, as a member of Yankees Worldwide Facebook group, the anger and complaining are on another level. You have no idea. I can only imagine. I don't even think I want to take a look over there. It might scare me. But this is it, Bartino. The Trent Grisham thing, I think, absolutely was mishandled, and it put the Yankees in a bind. I think that's what it all boils down to, and we called it when it happened. First of all, to even offer the guy a qualifying offer,
stupid. Absolutely the dumbest move of Brian Cashman's career.
It might be one of the dumbest moves in history, period.
The minute they offered that to him, we went, well, he's obviously going back to New York. Like, he's never going to turn that down. Like, why would you turn down $22 million a year after, knowing where the market is and after the season you just had?
Dumbest moves in MLB history. Babe Ruth to the Yankees for rights to a play. Trent Grisham, qualifying offer. I mean, legit. What was he thinking there?
It'll be a decision that haunts Brian Cashman forever. And I think Yankees fans have a right to be pissed.
1,000%. I'm pissed for a Yankees fan, and I am by far a Yankee, not a Yankees fan. Like, hate the Yankees, but I am mad for them.
Yeah, you got this team. They can't figure it out with Bellinger. Curtis, not the dumbest. Let me count the ways.
Listen, you're talking to two fans of a franchise that done the same thing, bud. So
yeah, we're there with you. I just completely threw off my train of thought, but it's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah,
but Yankees fans have a right to be pissed. The Yankees can't figure out what they're going to do with Bellinger. They know they got an issue with catcher. Now Chisholm might be available. Dominguez, you're not really sure you want to commit to him, but Spencer Jones could be available. You're just waffling. Like, this team is they're just waffling. They have no idea. They have no plan. You got all these arms that are down. You got a bullpen that's in shambles. You've done nothing to improve. That team, they just seem lost. Like, the Yankees, as good as the Yankees are, like, you almost feel like they need to just push the reset button. They've got so many pieces that just don't fit. And you're stuck trying to make sense of it.
Yeah. It's weird, but yeah, that Grisham, that whole thing put them in a hole at the beginning of this offseason, and they don't know how to get themselves out of it.
No,
That's where
and
they are.
it's for the Yankees, it's a flavor of the week. It's
Yeah,
every week's a different storyline. It's a different player that's available. It's a different move they want to make. And
yeah.
it was Kyle Tucker for a few days. Then it wasn't anymore.
Yep.
Like this, I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, a hole at shortstop. They get possibly address that.
Yeah,
they got
what do you do with Volpe?
they got some issues. They do.
They do
Um,
a lot. They got a lot of them.
Mike Reed. The funnier thing is Heyman reporting he was going to reject it. And listen, the more I have closely followed the insiders part of this hot stove, these guys don't have a freaking clue what's going on.
They're getting bad intel from somewhere.
Yeah, for the most part, they have no idea. It's like me, Harrison, and the chat have a better idea what's going on from the outside looking in than it seems like these guys that are sitting in on these meetings. Like, it's crazy. The misinformation, the Zach Gallen signing that, oh, wait, nope, they're just, never mind, taking it back. Like, they don't have an idea what's going on there. It's crazy. Yeah, they want Volpe to be Jeter 2.0 so bad. Yeah, it's never going to happen.
Oh, they basically labeled him that on day one, which is probably part of the problem. You never let the kid actually just do his thing. You immediately tried to tag him as something that he wasn't ready to be.
And nobody, you could put Francisco Lindor in that role to try to follow up Jeter. He was never going to fill those shoes. No matter, you could put the best shortstop in history right behind Derek Jeter, and he's not going to succeed because he's not Derek Jeter.
Yep.
Right? I mean, it's just
it's hard to replace a legend.
Right, exactly. That's my point. Like, and Curtis, we have been preaching about this for years. Our problems are Boone's lineups, relief pitching, and fielding. I know what I know. And we have said, like, and it's not even necessarily in some years, like last year, yes, I get the relief pitching part, but it was Boone's management of the bullpen that was horrendous. We're like, wait, why are you doing this right now? Like, this makes no sense. Or we're like screaming at the TV, like, go get him. And he's in for 3 more batters, gives up 3 solo shots. And you're just like, okay, like, what? Yeah, it's been Boone's decision making for us that we've just been like head scratching. And then they go out and extend him. And we're like, what?
Are we not watching the same game as the front office? Like, it makes no sense.
No.
You know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result. But yet here we are year after year.
Yep. What are your thoughts on the Cubs here?
I mean, the Cubs kind of told us they were going to be quiet. You know, they basically said they weren't pursuing Tucker. They had some internal options they were evaluating, you know, like Owen Casey to take over for Tucker. Obviously, they've got Justin Steele, who's supposed to return. The whole Shota thing got sort of figured out when he took the qualifying offer and came back. And they've got a bunch of young guys and Shaw and Bush and PCA and Horner and all those guys that are kind of all settling in. So I didn't expect the Cubs to be super active. I expect them to go maybe make some second tier option, you know, moves for pitchers, maybe a Merrill Kelly or a Zach Gallen, somebody like that. But I wasn't expecting a lot out of them because they don't. Again, a team that doesn't. They always seems to have less money than you think they have, but they also have a lot of young players they're trying to figure out.
Yeah. I think the Cubs, we will see either Zach Gallen or Merrill Kelly sign with the Cubs.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Because Steve Traxel's not walking through that door as much as the Cubs, as much as the Cubs need him. But I don't think the Cubs have done anything, really. I don't even remember seeing their name on like little trades here and there or their minor leagues. Like, I don't think I've seen any moves for the Cubs here.
No, they extended the qualifying offer that Shota accepted, and that's basically been it.
Yeah.
And then they apparently had Zach Gallen signed, and then he wasn't. But yeah, I mean, they've been very quiet. And again, like I with all those young players, I don't think that they're in a spot where they want to make a bunch of moves, but I would like to see them get a veteran bat. I'm not sure where you put it. That's for just for Jed Hoyer to figure out. But I think a veteran bat would be good to backfill Tucker. And obviously the pitching that I do think they're going to go make some moves for pitching, but it's going to be second tier guys. They're not looking for an ace.
No, and they're solid up the middle. Listen, Swanson, Horner, and PCA. That's a great core to build around, right? You got Happ, you got Bush that put up 38 home runs this year. I mean, you do have some nice pieces there, but I'm with you. One veteran stick and 2 or 3 more starters, couple bullpen, and I think they're good. And I think Ryan nailed it too. Just like you said, they're not sure what they have yet in the young kids. That's going to iron itself out this year. And maybe they take one more step and they get a little bit further in the playoffs, right? They just keep inching towards the promised land and they'll get there. So, yeah, the batting needs hella help. They're inconsistent. Once the consistency gets there, the Cubs are going to be fine. Right. I mean, PCA was a 2020 guy by May 2nd, and then just kind of
and just imploded.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I literally just said that, right? PCA started looking like a classic head case in the second half. He just couldn't get out of that funk. And maybe another year of growth for PCA, we see him absolutely explode. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, again, a guy that showed he's got talent at this level. Now it's just a matter of what can he do with it. And in the Cubs defense, they did sign Hobie Milner the other day.
Oh, that's right.
Lefty reliever. So yeah, they're making moves.
Yep. That's a good reliever to have. He's good. So
yeah, not a bad move, but again, like these are the moves I expect the Cubs to make, kind of the under the radar, second tier moves that are on page 2, they're not headliners.
Yep. Giants, last team here to kind of kick around.
I feel like they're kind of in the same boat as the Cubs. They got their big bat in Devers. That was the big player for them in the trade. Took on a lot of money. A team that also has some health issues, but isn't that far off. Another team I think is going to make a couple of moves, but they're going to be their kind of like the Cubs, your second tier page 2 type moves, because they're not that far off, and they're not looking for an ace, not looking for a big middle of the order bat. Like that's a pretty solid roster.
Yeah.
They would benefit from another arm or two, but I think they kind of have what they're going to have, and they're going to roll with it.
Yeah. The Giants are so forgettable to me right now. Might be a mistake. I mean,
yeah.
Other than the Dodgers, that NL West is a toss up too. I mean, and other than the Rockies, I love the Rockies. Oh, I love Terry, but I mean, let's be real there, right? Diamondbacks are going in the wrong direction. Padres are the Padres
doing nothing with a bunch of holes.
Yeah, so Giants could be their number 2. It would not surprise me at all.
The Padres have lost their 3 top starters for next season.
Yeah,
Darvish is hurt, and you lost King and Cease.
Mm-hmm.
That team is stripped down already.
Yeah. And you're right, Mike. The Giants did come out and say they were just going to try to build some depth, and that was it.
Yeah,
right.
Buster Posey doesn't have the checkbook like he did because they took on a lot of money with Devers. He is their big signing.
Yeah, yeah, and yes, I think last time I checked, Colorado still has a ball club, but I might have to get back to you on that. I'm not really sure the current status.
Colorado made a Rule 5 pick tonight, so they're still out there doing something. Yeah.
You sure that wasn't the soccer team?
No, they were the first Rule 5 pick, and Sterling Monfort, their director of scouting, was very excited about it.
Wow, great. Okay, well, we'll never see that guy. All right. I have some new trivia for you guys, and I'm kind of throwing this out for you guys to see how you like it, if it's really hard or what? It's kind of something I've sort of made up, so I hope it makes sense. So I'm going to give you an example first, and then we'll go from there. So this is the example. Which two players' stat lines are mashed together? So I need both players. So 182.6 WAR, a 305 batting average, a 2,873 career hits, 755 home runs, 2,214 RBIs, 240 stolen bases, 424 doubles. So I'm looking for two players here. So I've mixed up their stat lines. And this one's kind of an easy one just to kind of warm me up to see if you guys can get it.
Let's see if chat's got it. It took me a minute, but I got it. But it took me a minute to. But then now that I see how it works, I think these will be a lot of fun.
So I tried to add numbers in there that kind of stick out. Does anybody got it? Nobody? I'm confused. That's what I was kind of worried about. Oh, well, Hank Aaron is one of them. He's one of the players. For sure. Great. Came here to talk baseball. Nick has us doing calculus. I don't math, buddy. So this isn't calculus.
It won't be Nick having you do calculus because Nick doesn't do calculus.
It's not Ted. So Hank Aaron is the first.
Yep.
This player has the highest career WAR of anybody ever. And look at the top part of the silhouette. It should the swing should give it away.
Yep. And the 2,214 RBI is what gave it away for me.
Yeah. Hank Aaron and Moonlight Graham. That's awesome. Yeah, not Moonlight Graham. Hank Aaron and Bob Uecker. No. All right. Maybe this is going to be really tough. This could be a tough trivia segment then.
All right. It's Hank Aaron and Babe Ruth.
Yes. So Babe Ruth has got the 182.6 WAR. So, and the 2,873 hits. So those were the standout. So, well, here we go. We're going to give it a shot.
Let's roll.
Yep. Which two player stat lines are mashed together? 69.2 WAR, 3,319 hits, 135 home runs, 1,307 RBIs, 319 stolen bases, 605 doubles, and a 338 average. So for me, it's the average and the doubles kind of stick out here for me as the giveaway of the two players. Yes, it's shuffling of the two stat lines. Yes.
Yep.
Maybe that's how I'll phrase it from now on. Not Pete and Ricky. That's a good guess.
That was a good guess. I got one of them, but I don't know the second one.
It's not Henderson. Henderson is not one of them. Yep, he's one, Harrison.
Yeah, I got one of them. I'm trying to get the second one.
I always count this guy as the most underrated Hall of Famer ever. Yeah, Tony Gwynn is one. Nice job, Martino. Yep. Rod Carew, great guess, Jeff. Not Rod Carew.
Yeah, he and Gwynn are so close.
I think this guy is the most underrated Hall of Famer of all time.
Oh.
This guy is unreal and nobody talks about him. Yes, Harrison.
Okay.
It is him.
The doubles, I was like, man, why can I not think of who this is?
Yeah. And not Yount, but you're so close.
There's two guys that go together in history. Yount.
It is Paul Molitor for sure. So yes. Paul.
Jesus, John.
Yeah, so Tony Gwynn and Paul Molitor is correct. All right.
What would the W stand for him? John,
Let's
what's
not.
what's the rating? What's the rating system?
No, please no. All right. Which two players' stat lines are mashed together? 79.6 WAR, 303 batting average, 3,089 hits, 160 home runs, 780 RBIs, 509 stolen bases, 746 doubles.
The stolen bases kind of had me. Oh, the color. Okay, yeah. So I know.
So
I know.
I have both colors of both teams in here, right? So that's also a hint. Yes, Harrison. There you go. You're starting to get it now.
Yep. I was like, man, you saw the stolen base out there. I'm like, oh, this is not at all the direction I thought we were heading. And then I was like, okay, now I know.
Yep. Nope, not speaker. I tried to go with guys that are pretty well known. Ryan, you're killing me.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Maybe it is helping you, and you just don't know. I mean,
right. Nope, not Wagner. So I have the top half of one guy in there and the bottom half of another. It's not one player; they're mashed together. Not Griffey and Ricky. Good guess. Not Reigns. These guys, I tried to stick with. I think all of them are Hall of Famers or should be Hall of Famers. I mean, so they're well-known guys. I didn't go way off the rails on these since it was the first time we were trying these.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys that come to mind when it comes to hits in baseball history. These guys tend to get lumped together.
Yes, because one arguably has more hits than the other guy, but he didn't get them all here. So yes, Ichiro is one. He is the bottom half of the silhouette. Yep. Not Sheffield, but hold that thought, Mike Reed. Not Yaz. Oh, maybe it is Rose. Good. Yeah, Ryan, this is a good suggestion. Maybe put both silhouettes next time. That's a great, instead of trying to mash it together. I was trying to get too creative for my own good. So that's good feedback. Thank you for that. But yeah.
It's Ryan
Ichiro's. Love it. Yes, Ichiro's is correct. Yeah, so Pete Rose and Ichiro Suzuki. Love it. All right. Next one. Which two players' stat lines are matched together? 83.8 WAR, 276 batting average, 2,781 hits, 612 home runs, 1,836 RBIs, 19 stolen bases, 524 doubles. The top silhouette should be a gimme.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Everybody should recognize that starting spot.
If I put both silhouettes here, you guys would have gotten this in about 0.2 seconds. I wouldn't have been able to read all the stats. It's not Parker. It is Tommy. Tommy's the top silhouette for sure. Not Edgar. John, you're so close. Not Edgar. But look at the color. So Tommy's the red. Who would be the teal there? You got the second one? Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I kind of had to hide his stats a little bit because he would have been an absolute gimme.
Well, it's funny because he and Tommy home run wise weren't that far apart. So at first I thought it was his home runs. I'm like, no, he had more than that, but not much more than that.
Not A-Rod.
But they were teammates.
Mm-hmm. That teammates with Edgar and A-Rod. So that will probably give it away. And it's not Joey Cora.
Or Jay Buhner.
Right. Or Dan Wilson. Yeah, it is Griffey. Yep. Good. So Tommy and Griffey for that one. Yeah, no matter whose top silhouette I would have put on there, it would have been a dead giveaway. So
yep.
Yeah, these are definitely a lot harder than I thought. So sorry, fellas, but I think the two silhouettes going forward will definitely help out. So, but just try to do something different. So hope they're still fun. But yes, Rich, good. Yeah, Griffey, nice. All right, this next one, they're kind of paired together, and you will kind of see what I mean. They're kind of paired together, if you will. Which two players' stat lines are matched together? 46.5 WAR, 307 batting average, 2,111 hits, 222 home runs, 1,266 RBIs, 14 stolen bases, 350 doubles. And we have talked a lot about these two in the past week. I would say the whole baseball world has been talking about these two for the past week. Yes, Harrison, good.
I was like, okay. Well, it's funny because like I did a pretty decent deep dive on both of their stats, and so some of these numbers are jumping out. I'm like, I feel like I've seen these recently.
Yeah, and that's why I put these guys in here. I thought, nope, not Alonso, not Guerrero. I mean, I wouldn't say these are Hall of Fame numbers, but they're pretty dang good. Yes, Don Mattingly is one, Captain. Nice. Not Kent. Good guess, John Temple. But you are right on Mattingly. Pete and Schwartz, good guess. Not them. Yes, it is Mattingly and Murphy. Mike Reed. Nice job. Yes, Mattingly and Murphy. Nice. All right, stick with me. Got three more. I know. Here we go. Which two players' stat lines are matched together? 87.5 WAR, 295 batting average, 1,754 hits, 381 home runs, 1,018 RBIs, 88 stolen bases, 325 doubles.
So no Hall of Famers here.
No Hall of Famers here. But someone that has an 87.5 WAR and is not in the Hall of Fame.
Is he the top half?
He is the top half.
Does he play in the outfield on the West Coast?
Possibly. Okay. Well, actually, yeah, when he's not hurt.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, for sure on the first one.
Who is the other one?
The other guy has done, Trout, nice job. Yep. Worst batting stance ever. You're not wrong.
Pretty ugly.
Yeah, Rich, Trout is the top one. Now the bottom guy is the only guy to do a certain thing in a single season and got robbed of an MVP by Mo Vaughn. And I mean robbed. Yes.
Yeah, 1995.
Yeah, I gave that away, but the silhouette looks like a kid named Timmy Michaels I played Little League with. He was awful. Terrible. Name dropping. Yes, Albert Bell and Mike Trout. Nice job, Artino.
Poor little Timmy.
I know.
Poor tiny Tim.
Yeah, Mike Trout, Albert Bell. All right. Yep, Mike Reed got it too. Nice job. Which two players' stat lines are matched together? 38.8 WAR, 287 batting average, 3,255 hits, 384 home runs, 1,917 RBIs, 34 stolen bases, 560 doubles. Both are Hall of Famers. And yes, at a 38.8 WAR, that should give it away on one of them. Yep, he's one. He's the bottom half.
He's a bottom half?
Yes, sir.
Wouldn't he? He's not the top half with the super low hands?
Nope. There's another guy that hit with super low hands too. They are both switch hitters. The orange is helpful, yep. And it is for both of them. I would say the black and white for one and the orange for the other.
Oh.
Yes. Nice job, Rich. Eddie Murray is the top half.
Wasn't Eddie more like hunch, though? Wasn't it Baines had like the super low hands?
Yeah. I mean, they both were pretty low, but and with the silhouette, he is hunched here. You'll see it in the next one. Not Morgan. We'll give you a couple more seconds. Harrison has. Oh, we got it. Mike got it.
Yeah, we've got both names in there.
Yeah, it is Harold Baines and Eddie Murray. Oh, maybe it was Harold on the top. My bad. You were right. Murray was on the bottom. They're both. Their hands are pretty similar.
Yeah, they both have weird stances.
Yeah, but yes, good. Baines and Murray. Good. All right, and the last one. Thanks for sticking with me, fellas. I know this one's been tough. These silhouettes are wild. I know. So I will do two separate. That's a great suggestion. So I will do that next time I decide to do these. But which two players' stat lines are mashed together? 67.2 WAR, 292 batting average, 3,174 hits, 509 home runs, 1,551 RBIs, 40 stolen bags, 627 doubles. Wait, was Baines not a switch hitter? That's my bad. I think you're right now that you say that. Oh, crap. He was a lefty. Yeah, my bad. My bad on that one, fellas. Yep, Miggy is one. Nice job, Jeff.
Oh, he's the top half, right? With a big like loop in his hands.
Yep.
And I know who the bottom is.
I told one of the followers in the chat to hang on to that thought.
Yeah, the big stride.
Yep. Not A-Rod. Yeah, Miggy's definitely the top half, Jeff. You got him. And this guy is unfairly looped in with the steroid guys, and you got it, Ryan. It was Gary Sheffield. Yep, for sure. Nice. Yep, Miguel Cabrera and Gary Sheffield. Nice job. Yeah, and Mike comes back with the Sheffield guess. Yep, nice. So, yeah, well, that was a wild ride in trivia tonight. I don't know if you guys, how did you guys like them overall? I mean, I do like the suggestion of the two separate silhouettes. I think that's a great call. I just tried to get a little creative with it, and I think I went a little too much with it. But I did have fun kind of putting them together.
Yeah, I think they're cool. The two silhouettes I think would be helpful. But I think it was fun to try to cherry pick out different stats.
Yeah. And I tried to pick stats that would be like noticeable, that, you know, like we'd be able to pick out and pinpoint the guy, but not give it away at the same time. Like it was tough, but I love doing that. It was fun. That was interesting, but I liked it. All right, good feedback. So I like it. I was like Sheffield and wiffle ball. I too was not on roids.
let's be honest. The other day I grabbed a thing of wrapping paper, and I immediately just started with the wrists.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure.
I picked up a tube of wrapping paper, and I couldn't help myself but get into Gary Sheffield mode.
Yeah. I think this is it. Now that you guys know what it looks like, it's not confusing. So it's all good feedback. I appreciate that, because when we put it out on the page, I can't even imagine the comments I'm going to get.
People are going to lose their minds trying to
They're
guess
like,
these.
what the heck is going on? And good. That's what I was looking for. Something challenging, but not like crazy, like the names that we recognize, right? I wasn't going to be like Jeff Fry and Ray Ordonez, right? I'm not going to do that at first. So I try to keep them pretty notable guys at first.
I'm pretty sure chat would have gotten Jeff Fry and Ray Ordonez.
Well, I mean, we do have an all-star chat, so like I get it, but all right, let's get into the the free agency part of the show, if you will, where everybody can add to the conversation. So Harrison will pull up the chat. If you guys have anything else you want to talk about, either rumors, anything baseball related, this is your time to bring it to the table. Ichiro's Pete Suzuki was worth the whole 20 minutes. All right, perfect. Love it. Great. But yeah, do you have anything to add tonight, Harrison?
I've got a couple of quick items I'll throw one out there and we'll see what chat comes back with. But Yamamoto was added to Team Japan. Mm-hmm. And Roki Sasaki has declined to play for Team Japan.
I think that's smart.
Yep. I think for him it was more so like after the season he had last year, he wants the time to really focus on getting right for this year. Since as always happens, Yamamoto comes over year one, misses most of the season. Sasaki comes over year one, misses most of the season. These Japanese pitchers come over and they almost always get hurt immediately and miss the first season.
Yeah. Yep, that's smart. There was a lot of guys added to WBC rosters this week. I didn't even have time to put them in. It was like Jaron Duran for Team Mexico. Team Mexico's looking pretty decent right now. They added a couple big sticks and some good players on that roster.
Yeah, Tatis. Team USA added a bunch of guys. I'll see if I can't find it.
Yeah, they're looking good too.
Yeah. So Team USA added Schwarber, Terang, Gunnar, and Will Smith in the last couple days.
Yeah. Yeah, Will Smith and Cal Raleigh, arguably the two best catchers in the league right now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That could be nuts.
The Dominican team is always loaded, right? I mean, that team is insane. But yeah, I mean, the Dominican roster we rolled out last WBC, Harrison and I were like, how does this team lose?
Yeah.
I mean,
they did.
Yeah. Who knocked them off? Was it Puerto Rico that knocked him off? Right? It was the game that Edwin Diaz tore his ACL.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. It was.
So Japan no longer the WBC favorite. I mean, it's got to be until they lose, right?
I say they probably still are. Riley Green's going to play for Puerto Rico. What else we got? Yeah, Yamamoto to Team Japan. Byron Buxton to the U.S.
Surprised he's actually going to go play.
I know. I found that one a bit of a surprise.
Team Luxembourg, did they actually make the WBC qualifier? I don't even know who's in there. If they did. I mean, there is always that random country that makes it, but I just want the Czech Republic team back. That's all I care about.
They were awesome.
They were so fun. It was just like dudes like us out there playing in the field.
Great Britain with their uniforms falling apart.
Yeah, but that Czech Republic team was incredible, and it was so cool that Buxton got hurt packing. Yeah. Oh, the Naylor brothers to Canada. That's right.
Oh, that's right. Naylor brothers to Canada. Yeah. So as of right now, Team USA has Aaron Judge, Paul Skeens, Bobby Witt Jr., Cal Raleigh, PCA, Corbin Carroll, Garrett Whitlock, Matthew Boyd, Kyle Schwarber, Will Smith, Gunnar Henderson, Bryce Terang, Garrett Clevenger, Griffin Jacks. That is the roster as it stands right now.
So they got no starting pitching in there right now?
Just Skeens, really.
Oh. Yeah.
You got Boyd. You got Boyd as a starter. You got a few relievers.
Skeens and 24 other dudes for sure.
I mean, I take my chances.
Yeah. Yeah, Kurt, I mean, I was kind of half joking too, but I don't even know at this point because like I said, like that Czech Republic team was like, it was hilarious when they did the backstories on them, and it was like guys hanging down underneath the sink with plumber's crack and like a carpenter, and like they're just like average Joes going and playing the elite of the elite at the highest level of baseball.
Their best starting pitcher was what, like an IT guy?
Yeah.
It was, the whole thing was hilarious.
Oh my god, it was awesome. Like it was so hard not. It was, you wanted to root for them. It was incredible.
It was amazing. Like you couldn't help it.
Travis Bazzana's going back for Australia.
Oh yes, yep. Mm-hmm. Makes sense. WBC should be fun.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. And Joey Gallo out of the pen. Yes, please. There's a spot.
Joey Gallo right now has actually got several teams that he's talking with about trying to resurrect his career as a pitcher. Apparently, he can bring it.
Crazy.
He can't hit it, so he might as well bring it.
Right. Crazy.
So yeah, I'll actually drop an article in chat here. But yeah, as of yesterday, he's drawing attention from several teams that are interested in him as a pitcher.
Wow. That's nuts. Didn't realize he had that good of stuff.
Yeah, there's a video in there too. Like he looks like he could be a major league pitcher.
Ankiel 2.0 reversed.
Well, one thing for Gallo though is remember, like in the outfield, he had a cannon for an arm.
Yeah,
the dude always had a great arm.
Just couldn't get to the ball to throw it.
I mean, there's that, but he won a bunch of Gold Gloves, Nick. So I'm not sure why you hate him so much.
I forgot about that.
They were not convincing Gold Gloves, but he won them.
Crazy.
Rule 5 draft happened. I'll put a link in chat. You can see the picks.
You're gonna put a drink in chat? Cheers.
Put a link in chat. Interestingly enough, though, the Rockies had the first pick, and they took RJ Pettit from the Tigers, who is a 6'8", 300-pound pitcher, reliever. Last year, he had a 2.44 ERA, a 106 WHIP, and 79 Ks and 66 in the third. He throws an 85-mile-per-hour slider with a mid to high 90s fastball and an upper 80s change. I'm not sure how a guy like that doesn't get protected, but you can only protect so many guys. So,
right. Dang.
Yeah. And then the White Sox took Jackson Paez from the Red Sox. He's now their number 15 prospect. There was interesting movement. And then the Athletics took Ryan Watson from San Francisco, who they then immediately traded to Boston for infielder Justin Reimer.
Yeah.
So an interesting amount of movement out of the Rule 5 draft, which, like I said, Shane Smith was a Rule 5 draft pick last year. He was the White Sox best pitcher.
Yeah, and the weird thing about the Rule 5 is if they don't make the roster out of spring training, they immediately get DFA'd. So that's what happened to Ryan Flaherty, our main boy.
Oh yeah.
With the Orioles, was he was selected by the Orioles in the Rule 5 draft, and he had to make the roster or he would have been released. And there's a video about Buck Showalter making the final cut and making it a big deal that Flaherty made the team. And then had an okay career with the Orioles and Braves. I mean, nothing spectacular, but he's still around baseball today. So pretty cool. Yep. But that's the thing with the Rule 5. If you don't make the roster, you are out of there.
Yeah. It used to be that you had to return them. And I think they stopped that. And then now they just become a free agent or whatever. But
yep.
It was always a bit of a crapshoot. You know, you can only protect so many guys. You never knew it was going to get taken. But back in the day, you might get them back if it didn't work out. But
yeah.
So that was going on. And then the Royals agreed to a 1-year deal with Lane Thomas. I think when Yastrzemski signed somewhere else, they made a move. Lane Thomas is a good ball player when he's on the field. He's just not on the field a lot. Was
he signed or was he traded? I think he was traded there, wasn't he?
No, he was a free agent. They agreed to a 1 year, $5.25 million deal.
Okay.
All right. I think he might have gotten DFA'd. He missed most of last season anyway, so it's kind of
Yeah, I think Lane Thomas could be a good piece for that Royals team. I don't hate that signing.
Yeah, he played in 39 games last year. Just could not get healthy. His plantar fasciitis, then it was something with his wrist, and he just never could get right. Talented guy, but he's got a long track record of missing time.
Yeah. Man. All right. And no updates from Hot Stove at all since we've been on?
Not that I've seen. I'm just trying to scan to see if there's any latest news.
Mike asked earlier in the chat, Kyle Tucker's market where's that?
Last I saw, it's exactly where it was before. It's kind of it's the Blue Jays, Yankees, Dodgers. The Mets had kind of chimed in, and they fell apart. I don't think his market has changed. I just don't think anything's progressed.
Yeah. What about Bo Bichette?
He had the Zoom call with the Red Sox that he was quite impressed by, and that was the last I heard. He liked what he heard.
Okay.
Mark Letter Jr. signed with the A's, so the Yankees lose another bullpen arm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Brewers signed Akil Baddoo.
I did see that.
I do like Akil Baddoo.
Yeah,
I just like saying his name.
Yeah, one of the best names out there for sure. Yeah.
I think the word is that Bregman is very much playing it close to the vest and not really saying much. Teams have met. They've presented things. There's been no direction from him. Tucker is still very much in listening mode. So I think those are the guys that are probably going to drag on into the new year unless something really comes together quickly. And we got all those Japanese players that have the posting windows closing soon.
Yeah. Ryan, where did you see this post? Because I definitely didn't put a post out like that. No, it wasn't me. Did it happen to have Ketel Marte on it too? That one definitely wasn't me. Trevor Story still at short? Maybe? Yeah. Well, yeah, it was me. Don't worry. I X'd out Pete Alonso. So that ain't happening.
Yeah. And then as of yesterday, the reports from Arizona are the D-backs are not any closer to a Marte trade. They're listening. There's really nothing at this point happening.
I think the asking price for him is too high. I heard Torey Lovello today. He's like, listen, I don't deal with the front office, but like, who wouldn't want Ketel Marte on their team? Like, I don't want him to go naturally. No. I mean, he's a stud, but the asking price is too high. Now, however, I did hear reports that the Red Sox did check in on him and they wanted Tolley or Early. And the Red Sox said no. I'm sorry. And this might come back to bite me because I do like Tolley and Early. You send one of them.
Yeah.
For Ketel Marte,
yeah.
You send one of them. Which one do you want? You can't have both. Maybe that's where it was. Because the Diamondbacks have been out. They're like, we need starting pitching. With Corbin Burns not coming back till mid-year, at least, we need starters. So maybe they asked for both, and the Red Sox were like, yeah, that's not going to work for us. So maybe that's where it was. But yeah, I mean, if I'm the Diamondbacks, I am going to ask for a crazy price. It's a top 5 MVP candidate every year.
Yeah.
That is a great fielder, an incredible hitter. He's a spark plug in that team. I would ask too. Because that's a big hole the Diamondbacks then have to go behind and fill. That they're not going to. Like, there's no other Ketel Marte out there right now. But if I was the Red Sox and it took one of those two, then bang. I mean, Curtis, you're not wrong. Our fielding last year was atrocious, and it has been for the last few years. It's not great. Not great at all.
It's not been good for a while.
Yeah. I'm sure they're asking for half the gate and all hot dog sales. Probably.
Yeah. For Bregman, it's believed that based on where the Alonso deal landed, he's probably in the 5-year 165 range, which they suspect the Red Sox will probably balk at.
Did you say probably? They will.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt there, but yeah, it's not going to happen.
No, he's not coming back to Boston. He
I
is. I called it last year. He's Adrian Beltre, one and done.
Yep. Yeah, we all knew that was a 1-year deal. He was, when you give it when it's 3 years with opt-outs at the end of each one, you kind of know it's going to be a 1-year deal. I thought they'd be more aggressive to re-sign him, but at the same time, he didn't exactly have like a great season with the Red Sox because he missed a big chunk of it.
Yep.
So it's kind of hard to gauge like what are you going to get out of Alex Bregman going forward.
And I mean, I was surprised the Red Sox gave him $40 million, to be completely honest, even for that 1 year. And I thought maybe that would have kept Bregman there for, 2 more to opt into 2 more years of $40 million. I mean,
yeah.
But again, even last offseason, he said he wanted length. The length wasn't out there last free agent market. It looks like this year it might be. So,
yeah, I mean, not yet, but doesn't mean, but there's still time.
Well, that's true. But I mean, if he wants 5 years, if Schwarber's getting 5 and Alonso's getting 5, Bregman will get 5 from somebody.
You would have to believe so. I mean, I think Bregman's the least risky of that group.
I mean, this is a good question, Mike. What team is paying Bregman that much? He doesn't want Detroit. Who else is there? I don't know.
I mean, the Mariners were rumored to be talking to him. That was out there. It's been the Red Sox consistently. At one point, the Mets were talking to him. I don't think that really went anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure what the market for Bregman actually ends up being.
Tio, this is a great question. Any chance Cassis comes back and has a monster year? This is a massive knee injury, and the dude was streaky as hell to start his career healthy. I don't know. I have no pulse on Tristan Cassis. I mean, I hope he comes back and he's a beast for Red Sox fans, but especially if we don't get a first baseman. But what does Tristan Cassis look like coming off that knee injury?
Yeah, I mean, when's he even due back?
I don't know. I don't know the recovery window for a ruptured patellar tendon. No, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, as of a couple of days ago, they were asking Alex Cora and Craig Breslow, and there is no timetable for him. They won't know much until spring training when he gets another evaluation. Otherwise, right now he's just going through rehab.
Ryan, I'm kind of with you here. I'm okay if Cassis goes away. He is Bobby Dahlbeck 2.0. Scorching hot for a week and then disappears for a month and a half. Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, Seattle, do something. Agree. Word in Seattle, we're going with Cole Emerson at third or short, especially if we trade JP Crawford. Interesting.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. They do have some good young talent.
I love JP. It seems like he lives and breathes Mariners baseball. It'd be tough to kind of see him in a different uniform. But
yeah, to go back to the Casas thing real quick, like I feel like Casas, it's such a disappointment to see him not work out because when he came up, like there was so much hype to the fact that he was coming up. The tour of Fenway, the off-season event that he was the headliner for, the fan reaction, like it was such a big deal that he was coming. And then it's been such a huge disappointment since he got here.
Yeah.
But he was the next big thing.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. T.O. likes Marcelo at third.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to stay healthy, though. The kid has a spot on the team if he can stay on the field.
Yep.
They wanted Kurtz. They got Cassis. Every MLB team wants a Nick Kurtz. That dude is an animal.
I mean, and in 2023, Casas hit 263 with 24 and 65, finished third in the Rookie of the Year voting. You're like, okay, like we found our first baseman. And then he's played a total of 92 games since.
Yep.
It was a rib thing last year, then a knee thing this past year. He's going to miss part of this year as he rehabs from it. You'll be lucky to get 80 games out of him this year.
I don't even want 80 out of him.
If he's healthy, I mean, he could be good. The problem is we don't know. You haven't seen him healthy since 2023.
Yeah. I don't want a bunch of I don't knows on my team. I don't.
No, ask the Rangers and the
Braves,
and the Yankees, and ask all those guys how that works out.
Yeah, I don't want that. So I don't know. When are the winter meetings over?
That's already over. It's only a 3-day event.
Oh, okay. So they're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have Roman Candle, Anthony, chill. And we can be thankful for that, for sure.
Oh,
we can be. The kid's going to be a beast. And saw it last year. His plate discipline, his exit velocity, his fielding's only going to get better the more he's at this level. But yeah, I love that kid. He's also got to stay on the field. That was a big loss coming down the stretch, losing him to that oblique. Possibly could have put us over the hump there with that Red Sox Yankees series being so tight. Not that it would have mattered when we got to Toronto, but would have helped because Giolito going out at that time too was not great. But yeah. All right, enough with the Red Sox. Anyways, they make me upset sometimes.
Sometimes.
Fair. All right.
The fact that the Red Sox are connected to Isak Paredes tells me that they don't think Bregman's coming back.
Yeah, they're already going for a plan B here.
Already moving off to something else. I would love to see Brendan Donovan get moved to the Royals. I'm gonna put that into the world.
Well, Chaim Bloom said that the Cardinals are up for some wheeling and dealing, so wouldn't surprise me if he gets moved here.
Did you see the latest rumors that C.J. Abrams, the Nationals are taking calls and listening on Abrams?
Yep, I have seen that. So yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of movement to be had here. So it's going to be, I think next week could be really busy, and then it's going to be dead Christmas week as it usually is, and then it will pick up after the new year. It should start up again. But
yeah, so keep in mind, Murakami's posting window ends December 22nd at 5 p.m. He has to be signed or he goes back. So, and then Ime, his posting window is January 2nd. So he has until January 2nd to sign. So we're going to have some pretty quick deadlines hit. Murakami needs a job in the next 10 days or he's going back to Japan.
Is there a third base spot for him?
I've heard nothing about him. Nothing.
Well, Curtis says, warm take. Bregman needs to be humble. Not take the top dollar.
Maybe.
We might find out. I don't know. Like you said, if he's holding his cards close, we have no idea who's offering what, where.
No.
So
the latest theory on Murakami is that with the signing of Alonso, that the Mets may then jump into the Murakami conversation. But I've not seen anything about him in weeks now.
I haven't either. I think a lot of teams are scared of, even in a high strikeout world of the MLB, if he's striking that out that much in Japan, he's going to strike out twice as much here.
Yeah. One team that's connected to him recently was the Pirates. They didn't get Schwarber, so they're looking at him as a plan B.
Okay. I mean, it's something.
Yeah, it's been very, very quiet on him.
Yeah. And I don't know much about the other guys either.
Yeah, and some of these guys weren't even expected to be posted. They just kind of like popped up.
Yeah. So,
I guess we'll see.
That we will. Yeah, Mike, CJ Abrams, possible clubhouse issue too.
Yeah.
for sure. Um, teams don't like the strikeouts, especially at any speed. Yeah.
Well, I think
But,
that's the concern. Are you going to get a guy who's going to just be a fan up there?
yeah. Man. All right. Anything else?
I think
So,
that's it.
yeah. Latest on Michael King?
Latest on Michael King. The Yankees are apparently very interested in him. I don't know that he's equally interested. The Mets met with him via Zoom a couple days ago. There was no real feedback from it. The Cubs were interested in him. And I think that's kind of the latest on him. The Yankees and Mets right now seems to be the two most aggressive suitors for him.
And last one I got, Gino Suarez. He waiting for like Bregman and stuff to fall, and then he just goes to a secondary team. I mean, Bregman, Bichette. What's he waiting for?
I don't know. There's apparently the Red Sox spoke to him a couple days ago. I don't know what came of that, if anything. If it was just more like a, hey, what are you looking for? The Cubs and Reds were both talking to him. Sounds like the Reds have kind of backed off. They lost Schwarber, and they're kind of like, man, we're good. We're not going to do anything.
Yeah.
That's really it. Not a lot going on his front either.
Well, hopefully we see things kind of pick up this weekend and next week, because then, like I said, the following week it's got to be, I would imagine, pretty dead going into Christmas week. And then maybe a flurry of activity after, but
yeah,
it's typically dead Christmas week.
Yeah, Christmas week and the week after that, as you head into New Year's, tends to be pretty quiet. But it's going to have to be active because some of these guys need to sign.
Yeah. Gino's going to sign a two-way deal with the Seattle and Arizona. Seattle has full custody and Arizona has weekend visitation. Love that. That would be sick. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, but, I don't know. I'm not sure what becomes of Gino. And I think that a lot of people look at his age and kind of go, what's he got left?
Again, nothing for 2 weeks, scorching hot for a week. Nothing for 2 weeks, scorching hot for a week. Not much consistency. I mean, it's consistently like that. That's the only type of consistency, but
no, and he was really pretty bad in Seattle. I mean, he hit 189. He hit 13 bombs, but he hit 189.
Yeah.
Like, yeesh, not good. And he struck out 79 times in 220 plate appearances.
Yeah.
I mean, his run in Seattle was not good.
No. Yeah, it's still 35 bombs, right? Like that's what you're paying for is the bombs. You're not, but
yeah, I mean he hit last year. He finished at 228 with 49 and 118. He just didn't do jack in Seattle once he got there.
Yeah,
kind of a bust for them.
Yeah, but
another guy that plays consistently 145 or more games a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rocky should sign him.
That dude would tear Coors Field apart. You'd have to you'd have to worry about where you park your car.
Yep. Well, Milwaukee take a flyer on Suarez. They're happy with Durbin at third, aren't they?
I say, yeah. The Brewers are not. The Brewers have no money. I mean, they're considering moving Peralta because of that. I just don't think they've got any room to add a guy like Suarez.
Yeah. So I don't know. All right. Anything else for tonight?
That's it.
That's all I got too. Pretty sure we'll have stuff to talk about Sunday. I can't imagine this weekend's going to be quiet. So
let's hope.
Yeah. Otherwise than that, appreciate the feedback on the new trivia. I will tweak it a little bit, do the two separate silhouettes here going forward. So if you see them out on the page in the next week or so, and you guys want to kind of help the people in the comments understand what's going on, that would be helpful. But I'm looking to get a little bit more creative with the trivia, because we don't want to keep putting out all the same stuff. So, trying to find new ways, switch it up a little bit, and still keep it fun for everybody. But really appreciate the support. Love when you guys come talk ball with us. Ichiro's isn't real. He can't hurt you. Love it. Nice job, Temple. Passing all your classes. Love that, buddy. Keep going.
Nice job, John.
And yeah, like I said, I can't thank you guys enough for coming and supporting us and taking the time to come talk baseball with us. It's an absolute blast. We love all the interactions we have with you guys. And you are the backbone of what we do. So really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy your weekends. I hope your favorite team gets your favorite free agent that's left, or they make a big trade, except for the Yankees. Sorry, Curtis. But no, seriously.
Can't help but not going to lie to you.
But no, appreciate all of it. We will see you guys on Sunday. Have a great weekend, and be safe out there. See ya.
See ya.